The Honourable Shane Jones.
Mr Speaker, thank you. Sir, to the members of the Crochet Club in Hawke's Bay, that was the member from Tuki Tuki. The meaning of such a word, Tuki Tuki, means to beat. And sir, if there is a minister full of promise but very empty on delivery, it's the beaten member of Tuki Tuki. So his name, sir, is Mr Foss. So his name is Mr Foss, which rhymes, sir, with dross. Because, sir, what we have just received was a lamentable and forgettable, sir, and a very disappointing speech from a person of the Hawke's Bay who suffers in that region, sir, 8.9% regional unemployment. An area, sir, only worsened by my own area of Northland, reflective of the fact we have to rely on Mr Sabin and Hone Harawira to actually advocate for it in a constituency sense, sir. This is a person who actually represents, sir, what's wrong with this budget. This is not a budget, sir, for the low-wage citizens of New Zealand. This is a budget, sir, for the overhyped consumers of the share market, sir, the purchasers of services from, sir, the merchant bankers, and, sir, those who are wiping, sir, their conscience clear as housing prices spiral out of control, and not a glimmer of hope, sir, from that side of the House that will be arrested. So, sir, let me just recap before we talk about the budget. Dross, Boss, Tuki Tuki, low-wage economy, 8.9% unemployment, Hawke's Bay. That's the gift, sir, of this budget to that part of New Zealand. Let's talk a little bit more, sir, about unemployment. Unemployment is without a doubt, sir, the area where this government will eventually fall and move to this side of the House. So there are no jobs being created that meets the aspirations of our young people. So we are into serious double-figure youth unemployment. So in the majority of the regions, now I accept, sir, that the senior members on that side of the House can't admit to this, but the majority of our regions, sir, dealing with significantly double-figure unemployment are busily encouraging their young people to leave those regions and go to Australia. They, sir, know that. It happens in their regions, and it's an indictment on the government that the best that they can deliver, sir, is a passage to Australia. But, sir, it's worsened by one other thing. And the thing, sir, that eclipses that level of folly is the attitude shown by the current Minister of Māori Affairs. Now, sir, I can't let Huggy Bear escape today. So you cannot use small amounts of dough, which may actually contribute to the development of a bilingual nation. I've no idea. He doesn't even know himself. To mask the fact, sir, that Māori unemployment, sir, is approaching in a number of our areas 40% amongst the age of 15 to 19, 19 to 24. Sir, 1,000 million grants to grow gardens at the back of the marae, and sir, if they're not well tended, let me tell you, they'll have electric puha in them. Let me tell you, sir, 1,000 million grants to maraes and to grow gardens cannot mask the fact there has been abject failure by the current Minister of Māori Affairs on unemployment. Now, sir, he can at least offer the defence he doesn't understand it, because, sir, that is a brilliant defence. It is the truth. But this side, sir, they do understand it. They understand that they have narrowed their attention and their resources, sir, to enrich a narrow caste of the New Zealand community. Now, sir, how have they done this? They are selling a pup to you and I, sir, as New Zealanders, that the only way to resuscitate the capital markets in New Zealand is to take property developed by countless generations of Kiwi taxpayers and then gift it, sir. Gift it to a narrow range of Kiwis who may be possessed of either connection or a little bit of capital to purchase those shares. So that in itself is an indictment on the people that are speaking very, sir, grandiloquently about the power of the share market. If it was that good, why do we need to come back and raid, sir, the larder of the crown to resuscitate that particular part of the economy? Now, sir, it might be said, oh, it's going to provide a broader range of opportunities for Kiwis to save. Sir, in Hawke's Bay, with a low-wage economy, there are no savings available. Secondly, sir, the narrow number of New Zealanders who have managed to buy into these shares, sir, shows that the broad number of Kiwis, they both lack surplus money, but more importantly, they're struggling, sir, to actually pay on a week-by-week basis the key necessities. That's why, sir, our power strategy, our power policy is an absolute winner. So we will fight month by month till the next election, and I can guarantee you, sir, the polls that are already showing considerable support, sir, for that power strategy will, sir, increase in growth. Now, sir, a number might say, as Mr Nick Smith, I recall, and a host of others have said, it was dirty Paul. Sir, this House, this group of parliamentarians is entirely entitled, sir, to say that the regulatory framework governing this sector of the economy is going to change. So why is it that we get criticised for being upfront about that, but when they change the regulatory framework for the casinos, and then they give them a tax holiday for 7 years, and then they say that if you want to actually re-regulate in order to meet societal demands about the ills associated with gambling into the future, you're not allowed to do it until you compensate. Well, sir, if that's what we're lumbered with, that's what will have to happen. But know this, sir, the cost of that regulatory change is a John Key bill. That's not a Labour bill, sir. It's a John Key bill. Now, sir, let's just go back here. Yes, we will re-regulate, sir, and improve and indeed refine the regulatory framework for the power industry. And so all that's been established, as more people become accustomed to that, is a new norm. That happens, sir, in all industries. Indeed, the fishing industry at the moment is going through a significant regulatory refinement process. It is going to increase, sir, the costs associated with vessel ownership, with vessel purchases, etc. So rather than just confine it to that part of the economy, sir, because it's an essential service, the effect of power prices is systemic. It will drive the improvement of manufacturing, drive the improvement of industry as they gain access to moderated prices, and, sir, it will substantially decrease the cost of power to average householders. Sir, there is absolutely nothing wrong with that, and we will politic, we will campaign, and we will sell that policy to the citizens of New Zealand. Because, sir, when you vote and when you exercise the privilege of being in a democratic country, first you are a citizen, second you are a consumer. So therein lies the key difference between what that party is saying about how they want to run the economy. They want to run it, sir, for a narrow range of power-obsessed, highly wealthy individuals who want to treat the rest of the society, the rest of the community in the context of power as consumers to be fleeced. Well, sir, we'll be changing that without a doubt. Sir, the final point I'd like to make is that I actually do applaud the current Minister of Housing for moving into the territory and trying to colonise what we have won over the housing debate. The only reason, sir, that the Minister of Housing has moved into Auckland and sought to provide the chimera, sir, of a housing policy is because he knows that the policy originally announced, sir, by Annette King is a winner. 100,000 houses that improve, sir, supply. Apply, sir. They increase, sir, the supply equation. But, sir, his policy is just going to generate more demand without an improvement in supply. And that, sir, will have only one impact, further driving up. Indeed, sir, I understand people who live in Herne Bay are now enjoying a new blessing. And when I was at St Stephen's School, Hawhangapo, he seemed to live in Herne Bay, but a Maori's very rare in Herne Bay. Now, I understand $2 million if you are blessed enough to live in Herne Bay, sir. I know one or three who actually live in Herne Bay. That's the average cost of a whare there. Well, sir, there's no way, sir, that type of approach or that policy is going to generate a solution to the housing woes. Only, sir, by increasing supply, and that's the essence of the Labour remedy. Kia ora tātou.
Kia ora. I call the honourable member Shane